My name is Teresa Hill, and I am an exhorter. I was born an exhorter. And one of the things that as I've listened already to people, it's several things have gone through my head, that yes, there are different seasons in our life, but I can see how even though I have matured and grown and are in different situations throughout my life, that the gift kind of comes out in different ways. So I'll try to give you a little bit I'll try to give you a little understanding. As to me, as an example of exhorter, I also need to let you know that I have the gift of mercy and teaching also. So that kind of, all three of those kind of play together in my life personally, and how it plays out. So one of the characteristics, I'm a person, I energize people. And I don't know why, that's just because I'm loud and I like to talk. And I like to grab people. I like people. I like to meet people. If I have my choice, everybody be wearing a name tag. If I don't know you, I want to know your name, and then I want to be able to talk to you. And I want everybody to know everybody. Some people say that exhorters are a party waiting to happen. And that's kind of, I don't really say a party. Maybe when I was younger, I'd say that. Now it's like a get-together. That's what I like. A get-together waiting to happen. Come on, let's get to, I want to get the more the merrier. Let's talk some discussion. Let's have some discussions. Let's encourage. I want to know what's going on with you. I want you to know what's going on with me, because then you can relate. We can have a ground. I have a ground to be able to build on a relationship when you understand who I am. And so I talk about myself a lot. One of those things is because I'm single, I don't have anybody else to talk to. So when around people, I know how to talk about myself. And I use it as it's a starting place. It's just a way to kind of find common ground and understanding, and then we go from there. I'm learning how to ask more questions to get to know others faster. But from a young child, I was always the gatherer. In the neighborhood of 28 kids, I was the one. We're having school, so I had my little classroom in the basement, and I was the teacher, and we all had little desks. And, I was the one who rallied everyone for a softball game, and, we all played in this lot out there, all 28, and I was the one who, okay. And I was also the cheerleader for both teams. I just wanted to have fun, so I didn't care who won. I just wanted people together. And that was my childhood. I had such a blessed, wonderful childhood in a very safe neighborhood where, the dinner bell, the next door neighbor's big dinner bell called us in for dinner because we're all outside all the time, just playing. What a life it was. And so also, we had many different types of kids in our neighborhood, and I was exposed to a lot of different kinds of people. So I grew up with an appreciation of people, of their differences. I also grew up going to estate sales and things with my mom, and so I got to see old stuff and new stuff, and I had this, what was built into me already was just this visionary, I could see the potential beyond what I saw. So I would see this box of doilies, and I would go, oh my gosh, what can I make with that? I would see the potential. I saw that same thing in people, and so I would relate to them pulling out things. I was the encourager. I was like, did you know, you could do this? And so early on, I got connected with a friend who took me to one of those, an activity night at our local regional school for special needs. And that was the first time I was around people with special needs. And it was just like something clicked. And I was like, I like these people. This is it. So all through my high school, I kind of in the back of my head knew that's the direction I was going. It was so suited to me. I was the one in high school that I knew everybody. Now, we in my particular class, we graduated 148, but I knew every person and their families, and I wanted to talk to all of them, and no matter what their backgrounds were. So I was the one who, I was friends with. In fact, senior year, I was voted most friendliest, because I talked to everybody. I knew everybody. And I think I gained an appreciation for people during that time because of that. I remember, I was friends with we didn't have nerds back then because we had geeks. No, we didn't have geeks. We had nerds. I'm sorry. And, I knew the farmers. I knew the athletes. I knew the people in drama and chorus. And I mean, I just knew everybody. and loved to be around everybody. And so I remember at my 5-year reunion coming back together and not seeing them for 5 years, and having conversations even then that I never had with them in high school because we've matured a little bit more. And so saying, recognizing like this friend, he was a truck driver, and I just immediately was like, I'm so happy that you love what you do, because I couldn't do that. And so I had this appreciation and for that every person has abilities and giftings that are useful in this world. And I'm so glad I don't have to be a truck driver. I mean, that would be horrible. So that along, I think it was just a built-in thing that I was able to identify different people and their particular gifting, their particular ways that they go, and the things they're interested in, and appreciate those things. I'm the one who, I kind of, as I said, like I used to go to estate sales, so I was the one who would see the old, picture frame, kind of thing, and I would say, oh, and my mom goes, what? Because she just saw what she saw, but I could see beyond it. I am a visionary, I'm creative, and that's part of being an exhorter. I'm very adaptable, so nothing is used for what it's supposed to sometimes, and I can see something different that can be valuable. Very creative on the creative side. I love to network. Like I said, I love to gather people. I love to get people together. I'm the one who still have friends from elementary school that I get together with. I have friends from high school that I get together with. I have friends from college that I get together with. And I've traveled the world, and I still am communicating through Facebook usually, or email, with those people that I met 10, 15 years ago, because we connected in a way that I want to maintain that connection. So I'm the one who has the group text going, hey girls, when are we going to get together again? Hey girl, it's been 3 months. So that's just so natural for me to want to do. And that's part of the gifting. Let's see. Of course, as I moved into my career, I became a special ed teacher. All different areas. I have experience in many different areas, to emotional challenges, to intellectual challenges, and just physical challenges, all kinds of challenges. I've had a lot of experience in that career point of my life. It was school. It was the workforce. So when I got to the workforce, those were my people. And I would do my thing, and the people, I'm the one making, let's have a little part, let's do this, that's, the fun things at work, to make work fun and enjoyable and meaningful. It's relationships, really, that kind of drew me to pull people. No lie, one time we had a funeral for a fly that was in the window of our office for like 4 months, and I said, oh my gosh, this fly's been, and it had nothing to do with the fly, but it was an opportunity to have fun. So I worked at the workshop, and we had napkins printed up for the funeral, and we had a little ceremony after work for this fly, and it was really just, it's a way to let out, it's a way to just have fun, way to bring people together and do something a little creative and just off. That's me. So I love to speak to everybody. So in those work situations, I had built in people. It was work. And as special ed, you have speech therapists coming in, you have OT coming in, you have lots of people coming in the room. It's all like, yay, more people, which was fun for me. I loved some of my favorite people in the school system are the janitors. Man, if you're a special ed teacher, you need to be in relationship with the janitors, because they're your best friends. And I saw it as not only because I needed them, but I think they needed us too. They needed to understand our classroom and what my students' potentials were. And so in helping to train for my students to train for jobs, I always connected with the janitorial, I connected with the wood shop, I connected, different teachers to connect my students with them so that others would begin to see their potential as well. Sorry. Let's see. So strengths are in mobilizing and inspiring people. Like I said, I I love to talk to people. Reconciliation and motivating people. I just want things to be nice. I just want people to be nice to each other. I don't like conflict, but I'm not afraid of it. It's one of the things that's listed in weaknesses is I want to avoid pain and conflict, pain and confrontation. I don't necessarily enjoy confrontation, but I'm not afraid if there's something I need to stand up for. And I will do that. I don't like pain, and I will avoid pain if I can. I do not want it, but if I have to deal with it, I will deal with it head on in a positive way, in the best way that I can to move forward. Another weakness is I tend to be a people pleaser, and I overextend. I want people to like me, but I also won't invalidate my morals and my conscience just to get somebody to like me, but I do overextend myself. I want to help everything, and I usually, this comes into struggles with time management, and I think it's just because there's so many opportunities, and I volunteered, I can do that for you, I can do that, and then I just have to play catch up very quickly. I have to I'm put a lot of stress on myself to get it done then. Instead of. So the maturing expression of an exhorter is inspiring transformative changes with faith and vision. I think that's as I, in my later years, my faith, well, not later, because when I left teaching, I quit teaching, I was called into full-time mission work. That was a big jump, but it was easy for me because I had pivotal, foundational faith changes, transformations that happened in my life that very easily, once I knew truth, once I understood how I wasn't, actually what it was is I saw myself as a special ed teacher. That was my ministry, and I always said that's where God's placed me. But I was actually bound to that because the thought of not being able to teach, if something would have happened to me and I couldn't teach, I don't know what I would do. But then I went through freedom ministry, and God broke that bond because what I learned was I was not a teacher, but I was a child of God who happened to teach. And so then it freed me to be able to use my teaching, as well as my mercy, as well as my exhorter skills anywhere. They didn't have to be in a classroom. They didn't have to be with kids. So in these later years, where I'm retired now, I've actually moved home to live with my family. My parents are getting older, and I'm helping them through that, supporting them. You know where my workforce is now? Not only in their house, but it's Walmart. It's Lowe's Garden Center. It's everywhere I go now to do errands. Those are my people now. And I just seek, I don't have to look for them. They appear. They just appear. But I will kind of close this out with giving you kind of if you want to practice how to be an exhorter, I'm going to give you a secret, okay? This is easy because I'm learning this even more being in the marketplace, doing what I've always done, is that before I go into Walmart, or grocery store, whatever, I'm just constantly saying, Lord, where's the one? Where's the one? And then I just keep my eyes open. I'm thinking about people instead of the list that I'm doing. I have my list, but I say, Lord, where's the one? And so then I'm just looking. And I'm looking for what he's going to point out. And many times I see somebody, wow, that shirt is incredible. Your clothes are beautiful. Or I love the way your hair, I just see something. And I have to communicate that to that person. And they're usually compliments, but they're just comments that I notice and they are encouraging to the person. And so I say, I love your hair. It's just so curly, so beautiful. And 9 times out of 10, within a minute, we're having deep conversation about the Lord because it's just a gateway. It's conversation. Exhorters start relationships and encourage them. And there I am then in Walmart saying, I'm so sorry, I know you have to get back to work, but you are just, and I just can't help but encourage them because it comes out. I see it so naturally. But it can be easy for you too, because all it takes is just, you don't know the change that will happen in a person, especially in a place like Walmart where nobody sees him. And for you to come by and say, hey man, those are kicking shoes. That's it. What that can do to somebody. So I would just leave you with that as a practice, as a practical application. If you want to be an exhorter, go out there and just ask the Lord to show you the one, and he'll do the rest. Thank you very much.